Let's focus in on the Trump issue that the entire world is focused on. How will it affect Scotland? That's the biggie. Looking at his agenda, it's clear that the Trump policy of imposing tariffs on foreign goods, that's a threat to the Scottish economy, particularly the Scotch whisky industry. At the time that we're talking just now, we don't know if tariffs are going to be reintroduced. I know that the Scottish government's concerned about it. The Scottish whisky industry is very concerned about it. Trump's such a capricious, fickle guy that he might decide, I'm going to spare Scotland, and then he might read something on Twitter and decide then to impose tariffs. There's just no way of really working out or predicting if it's going to happen or not.
No, I mean, he's the one thing is that he's a transactional-minded president. The idea that Scotland's going to get some kind of special deal, I think, is for the birds. I think he probably does quite like Scotland. He likes his golf courses and all that. But does that mean that he's going to give Scotland and Scottish whisky a special deal just because he quite likes Scotland? Somehow I doubt it. The truth is that there is no special relationship, really, and there certainly isn't one with regards to trade. Britain did have a specially legally binding relationship with Europe, but they tore it up a few years ago. And now, bizarrely, you've got the main architect of that, Nigel Farage, sort of cuddling up to Elon Musk and Trump, despite the fact this whole thing was meant to be that he objects to foreign interference in British politics. So I don't think that Scotland will get anything special off of Trump, whether or not he goes as far as he said he will in terms of imposing tariffs on goods from the UK and every other country remains to be seen.
I don't think John Swinney, since the general election, has put a foot wrong. I think he's at the top of his game, said that before. But I think in retrospect, I did think it at the time. I thought that he was wrong to pick sides in the US election. I know why he did it. There'd be people in his own party chomping at the bit from to pick sides. But given that it was such a tight election, it could have gone either way. Given that Scotland has to work with the administration, I just felt like it was a fight that he didn't need to pick.
I mean, at the same time, John Swinney runs a devolved administration within the framework of the UK, and Trump's business is going to be primarily with the UK government, and it's how that relationship is going to have a much bigger impact in Scotland than Trump's relationship with John Swinney. Actually, I'm not entirely sure, John. I think Trump is the kind of guy who might let emotion get the best of him. Good for us. I think he might look at Scotland and think, my mother was for there. We should be very proud this morning that the most powerful man in the world is a Scot. But thanks, Scotland. But
we gave the world Richard Nixon and Donald Trump. Amazing.
But I think that relationship with the UK government and how what happens in America impacts here. So for a start, defence spending is probably going to increase. Right now, that's going to have an impact on Rachel Reeves' ability to spend, which is going to have a potential knock-on impact for the Scottish budget. Man, if we have for the SNP, stuff like how if his immigration policies work to the way he wants them to work, is that going to impact on if people see it working here, is that going to push people to reform? Or if it doesn't work there, is it going to be used as a reason why we should, people should move away from reform? I think that relationship with the UK government is going to be much more interesting.
I agree with that, actually. I think that, the relationship with the UK will probably have a big bearing on whether tariffs are imposed on Scottish industries.
I mean,
ultimately, Scotland's not going to be around the table when it comes to discussing tariffs, are they? It's going to be the UK government that will lead all of that stuff.
Obviously, Scotland will be around the table as part of the United Kingdom, but I doubt John Swinney is even on Donald Trump's radar.